Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're back.
Yes.
We did it. Another day.
Mm-hmm. I never thought it was going to happen. Yesterday, I was like, that's it. That was the last one.
And
now
night,
today again, I'm here.
As I was closing my eyes last night after a meditation, I'd convinced myself, might have been a high thought, I'd convinced myself that I was going to start the show with doing like what late night hosts do before a band, where they go, and we're back. My next guest is an award. I'd do that.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, that's the way we have to do it. So we'll have to you play the little jingle, and I'm like, and we're back. Our next guest, we love this guy. He comes in, comes in via Zoom. We're supposed to be talking cigars, but normally we talk baseball and sports because Tom and I don't know anything about cigars. It's our good friend, Chris Gwaltney.
I like that. Yeah, that would be more professional than what we just did.
Which is what? What is this, coming back or starting?
Gwaltney's here. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, man.
I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
What if we just yell, Gwaltney?
Yeah.
Here's Gwaltney.
How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm really excited. It's actually a pretty good sports week for football fans, even though football's a long ways away. The draft is this Thursday. So
it's happening.
Me being a Jaguar fan, this is like our moment to shine, right? So
this is you guys. You got this.
It's our time.
So
it's great.
How is it? I feel like it's got to be pretty exciting to be a Jaguars fan because, getting a new coach, number one draft pick, it's like, you're like, we're doing it, baby.
Well, I mean, at the very least, you have an extremely exciting up to the point where you play.
Yeah.
And
then horribly disappointed.
Well,
again.
that's not. I'm not even saying that as a diss. I know it could be taken like that, but I honestly mean that. It was kind of like the feeling I got going to the Super Bowl. Atlanta Falcons. We're going. We're against the Patriots, which probably not going to be very good considering how good they are. But hey, let's give it a shot. You know what I mean? Like that leading up to so good.
Yeah. And Chris, now. I know they won't, and NFL teams never announce it, or they always they're like, we don't know who we're going to pick. But it's 100% chance that it's Trevor Lawrence, and everybody's saying it. I think the gambling odds are, minus 10,000. You got to bet $10,000 to win 100. So that's about, and you probably can't even bet that much. So it's a guarantee, correct?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's no question. If you go back to Trevor Lawrence's pro day and all the NFL teams are there on the sideline and Urban Meyer is standing right in front of Trevor Lawrence with Dabo Sweeney while he's going through his reps, I not only was that the most awesome boss move ever by an NFL coach, while all the others are over on the sideline, socially distanced, you're standing up there telling the quarterback what throws to make. It's like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
And you guys can all sit over there and watch, but you're not going to get to play with this new toy that I'm about to get. So, yeah, I mean, the cool thing about this whole thing with Jacksonville is, first of all, Jacksonville deserves this. I mean, Jacksonville, people always laugh. They make the joke, I didn't know Jacksonville had fans. If you don't think the Jaguars have fans, talk crap on Twitter about Jacksonville, and then just wait and see what happens, bro. You will have to delete your account. I promise you.
I like that. They're crazy.
Yeah, so the fans have been starving for this, and what's so crazy, it's almost too much. It's like, you got the coach. We've never been the team to get the coach. They've always gone to other teams.
Right.
We got the coach that everybody would have wanted, and then we've got the first pick. We've got the most, generational quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. Some people go back as far as Peyton Manning and even John Elway. So, I mean, it's like you go from starving to, eating a 10-course meal. So it's almost too much, but it's really cool, man. And I tell you, it's been a great offseason. And I do think, there's Urban Meyer. I think the thing I've been most impressed is how much Urban Meyer has studied and investigated and done everything in this new role, realizing he's never coached in the NFL. The crazy thing was, his offensive coordinator, he actually was going to go a different route, but he investigated this guy. He went back and talked to everyone that ever got coached by this guy, including Brett Favre, including Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford. So before he pulled the trigger, I mean, he really has put a lot into this. And so, I mean, everybody in Jacksonville's excited. Yeah, we know it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to draft Trevor on Thursday night. I was telling someone, I said it would be so awesome as during the draft when they say Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock, Trevor's not going to be at the draft. He's actually going to be at Clemson with his teammates and family. Well, it would be the most boss move when they say Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock and Urban just walks into the room where Trevor's sitting and hands him a jersey. I think that would be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure the NFL commissioner would not like that. That stage. But it would. We deserve that here in Jacksonville. We deserve some stuff like that. But no, it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited. They could literally draft dead people for the rest of the draft, and I wouldn't care. It's like everybody's. Who are they going to get with all these draft picks? And it's great, but to me, it's like I'm happy. You could draft anybody the rest of the entire draft, and I could care less. But very exciting.
Chris, what's interesting is that I hear the same things, and they talk about like Trevor Lawrence, like the way he looks. They're talking, it's like an Andrew Luck or a Manning as far as like his ability to read defense, his size, his quickness, his arm motion, like all these super technical parts that they start
using terms like mechanics.
Mechanics
and that's
decision making.
Yeah, it starts to come off the page for me a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I'm not a quarterback professional like who can analyze it.
I don't know. Look at him winging that thing.
Like when you're talking about mechanics, I don't know the difference between how your 90-degree angle and your elbow. They become super technical. So what's interesting, though, to me, Chris, and I'm sure you've thought about this, is that you start looking, you're like, all right, this is like the huge prospect and everybody's excited. But then you look at how the reality of the NFL is played out, and then like the best quarterback of all time, Tom Brady was drafted so I don't know in what round, but like it's so low in the class.
Are you even making a case that it could be a detriment to you?
And then the best quarterback that people are saying that's ever played the game, Patrick Mahomes, was drafted lower and wasn't that like coming out of college. People weren't going crazy over them.
I guess you could say like, what does it even mean now?
Yeah. So it seems to me like everybody's always excited about these potential players, even the Andrew Luck.
Are you trying to yuck on? Hold on,
well, I'm just saying.
Hold on a second.
Chris
is so
Mahomes,
fired up, and that started,
no one is even excited about Mahomes.
Hold on a second. That started like a question, and then it started to spiral. Then it spiraled into a personal attack on Chris Gwaltney.
I'm just saying.
I'm so sorry.
I know you're excited, and Jacksonville fans are excited, but that's got to be in the back of your head, like, man, even though there's so much potential here on paper, and everybody's so excited, like. The best quarterbacks that are playing right now, like no one was excited about them coming out of college, Right.
Well, you make a good point, and I do think there have been people that have been drafted high that teams were desperate and they reached for a guy that maybe wasn't that. But I can tell you, there's a lot of number one overall picks and top pick quarterbacks that never lived up to the hype, and basically it's because they weren't developed properly, or just face it, if you're drafting that high. You're not a very good team, right? You had a pretty bad season. The exception to that would have been the Andrew Luck situation where Indianapolis was pretty loaded and Peyton Manning got hurt and he had that horrible season without Peyton. And so they just kind of lucked into luck, right?
They sucked for luck.
So he had a lot more pieces around him. But I think what excites me about the situation with where I'm hopeful and a lot more optimistic with Trevor Lawrence is the fact that you have someone here that's good at developing young, talented quarterbacks. I mean, Darren Bevel, who's the offensive coordinator for the Jaguars, the one that Urban talked to Brett Favre, this guy developed Russell Wilson. The first 5 years of Russell Wilson's career, this guy coached Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson wasn't a guy that had a whole lot of accolades coming out of college. If you remember, he started at NC State, and transferred schools. So he was an athlete. He was kind of a project. And then, he hit the ground running in the league. I mean, he had a really good first year. And then obviously we know he won a Super Bowl and he's still considered one of the top tier quarterbacks in the NFL today. So you feel a lot more comfortable with it seems like you've got the right team in place to properly develop him. And now you just got to make sure you have pieces around him, and the good news for Jacksonville is They have a lot of salary cap space. They do have a lot of young talent in the skill position areas. They have good young receivers. We just don't know what they can do because they haven't had anybody throwing the football to them at the caliber of Trevor Lawrence. So I think it's I get your point, but I will say that a lot of NFL quarterbacks, number one overall picks that had the talent to be that and didn't develop. I think they just went into bad situations and were expected to carry the franchise a little too early and weren't properly developed.
Yeah, kind of like a Joe Burrow. You just throw him out there, he's getting killed because the offensive line sucks, and then he blows his knee out. And you're like, all right, though, that sucks for him. My God, like this guy was like top of the world, number one overall, and then they just gets him killed.
And then nothing said. It's like, bye-bye.
And then he gets injured, and you're like, oh, well, that could have been the make or break of your entire career, and your dreams are crushed. Or, I mean, maybe you can come out of it anyway.
That's so sad, man.
So, but we could all look at Florida. I mean, this is the most exciting NFL year moving forward for Florida teams that I've seen in a long time because you got, of course, you got Brady in Tampa and that team, which they didn't lose anyone. They just signed Antonio Brown today. So they're retaining that entire team, which is they're crazy good.
Well, they're adding too, I heard they had a couple more pieces they're going to – well, there's rumors, I guess.
And it does not seem like it matters that Tom Brady's 1 year older. That does. I mean, if anybody starts saying that at this point, it's ridiculous.
Well, you and I were talking about how much we like Florida Tom versus, New England Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Like New England Tom, I really hated, and, I'm supposed to hate Florida Tom because Tampa, and I'm a Falcons fan, but I kind of like Florida Tom Brady. I think he looks like a fun guy.
I've always
party Brady.
Yeah, I'm down with him.
I've always hated New England because, of course, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan.
Yes.
They're in our division.
And
so
technically, I'm supposed to still hate them. They beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl.
They've been beating me every year, and then for the past 20 years, it's been a bloodbath. And so I've always hated, not hated Brady, but sports hated.
I don't know it.
I'll say sports hated.
Yeah, that's better.
But now he's in Tampa, and he's got the class. He throw the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's got his glasses.
Throw the trophy. And I'm like,
drunk.
Party Tom Brady. He's way Florida Tom is 100.
Get that guy a white claw. Get him a white claw.
Yeah.
Why did I say right claw?
No, you're right. You're dead on right. I mean, Florida's like NFL Central right now. I mean, you've got Tampa, which is on top of the world, and like you said, they did a great job. And I think it was smart because we know Tom is an anomaly and he's going to play, but you obviously you don't have another 10 years with Tom Brady, so you want to keep striking while the iron is hot. So they did a real good job of restructuring deals and being able to keep all these players that you looked at it on the surface and said, hey, there's no way they're going to be able to keep these guys. But they were able to keep almost everybody. And, and a lot of that has to do with people wanting to play for Tom, and restructuring deals and things. But so they're at the top of the heap. Tampa's where all 31 other teams are trying to get to. And then you have, obviously, we talked about Jacksonville and the new coach and the new regime and all these Trevor Lawrence and the new face of the franchise, and everybody's excited. But then you look at Miami, and Miami, had a great season last year, kind of not expected to do what they did. And if Tua's a guy and can develop into a franchise quarterback, I mean, right now, if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, you have to feel encouraged based on how they played last year. And, I think this draft's going to be important for them, too. It's interesting to see what direction they go. But I think for all three Florida teams, man, I mean, it's great. I mean, we live in the best state, right? So, the weather's great, and we actually have some sports teams that are pretty good here. So,
the chat room is mentioning hockey. Tampa.
Yeah.
Does
Lightning.
Very fine hockey team.
We're a great sports state.
We do have, if you're into basketball, I'm not going to say the Magic are good, but I will say they're young and they're exciting. They're fun to watch. They really are.
Yeah.
I've been trying to watch it so I can just learn names again because I feel like it's sort of disrespectful to not at least know a few of the names of the players on your sports teams. I feel like you should sort of do that.
Yeah.
You know how like your dad would tell you need like a tailor to like trim your, like to be a real man, there's certain things you should do.
Yes.
You should at least know 3 players from every professional sports franchise in your city.
Yeah. And
that's smart.
Know a little bit so at least you could hold a conversation and
be well-rounded, so you don't get kicked out of a party.
So, I don't want to use your whole segment, Chris, to talk.
Well, you get to my silly article I pulled
to talk sports.
I think Chris will yell at me.
Again, thehumidor.com. Use promo code Tom and Dan when you're buying your cigars or anything related to cigars. They do an awesome job, and you could save money off your purchase if you use the promo code. So let's talk the store you found.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
Okay, this is ridiculous. United Cigars Director of Operations Oliver Navod. Do you know him? Oliver Navod has launched
not know him.
He launched the first NFT non-fungible token cigar.
So we got the NFT cigar.
Yeah, it's an NFT cigar. I knew you'd love this, Chris. Oh, Chris is getting red mad. Like a concept car, a concept cigar is made to showcase new styling. So it's not even like a real thing. It's like it's a concept that you can own.
Yeah. NFT cigar.
Yeah, it's an NFT cigar.
Smoke it. You can't digital
smoke
cigar.
No, you can't do anything.
We're getting close to digital hot dog. It's happening.
The Atabey Black Aritos NFT is just a concept and not in actual production yet. For now, it's only available to be seen and purchased.
So
how cool is that? What do you think, Chris? What do you
Chris
think?
wants to slap your face for reading
Don't
that.
slap my face, Chris. I found that just for you. I had it last week, saved it on my desk the whole time. What do you think?
Hey, you know what? You know what did P.T. Barnum say? Right, sucker born every minute.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't look. Whatever anybody wants to do, it's fine.
Yeah.
That is what you have to say because it's just like it doesn't even make any sense. You can't even enjoy that NFT cigar. It's
obviously this is just some marketing company for a cigar company that just like we should make an NFT cigar.
I wish I thought of it.
It's $160. Me and Dan don't been messing around with it.
We may have made 1 or 5.
So, but it's just a new way to market cigars, which. That brings us into
it was
an
pretty smart to see somebody snag that quickly. You know, I thought that was pretty quick for the cigar market.
So, Chris, being tapped into the cigar market, obviously young people, you know, in their 20s smoke cigars too, but that's also a market that I'm sure cigar manufacturers want to get into, like the lifestyle and like enjoying the different brands and just getting into it, because I think once you're into it, you're a customer for life.
Well,
and
you're seeing major brands infiltrate a lot of weird, like Mountain Dew is infiltrating like gaming, like game fuel.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're trying to like weave their way into the fabric.
So how do cigar companies like get younger people to be interested in cigars or start dabbling in the I guess the hobby of cigars? I'd say. I
don't know. It's the way I've always viewed, you know, not just tobacco industry, but any kind of spirits or, you know, to me, the smart way to market is you don't market the product, you market the culture and the experience, right? So if you get, and the cigar companies are doing this, because really, if you're going to have long-term success and you're going to bring people into the product, you don't want to sell them the product, you want to sell them the lifestyle. Because once they become part of the lifestyle, then they start buying everything related to the lifestyle, right? It's like if, you know, someone's take overlanding, you know, somebody likes going off-roading, they buy the Jeep. Then they're going to buy the rooftop tent. Then they're going to buy the camp shower. They're going to buy the little trailer to pull, but they're going to buy everything that's all the accessories that go with that culture of overlanding and getting out and four-wheel driving and going across the desert and everything. So it's the same thing with cigars. You know, if you properly market the lifestyle. And I think that's one reason why Cigar Aficionado is not a cigar magazine. It's a lifestyle magazine. I mean, if you read it, there's cigars in there, but there's a whole lot of promotions about product and
that's a great example.
Goods.
Yeah.
A lot of luxury things, right? And activities that gentlemen and men would do. You know, it's all about the culture and everything that surrounds.
And ladies, there's a lot of women in there now, you know, like Cigar Aficionado, especially on the covers, because I think they know their market, and you know, people love that fish out of water. Oh, look, she's, you know, how cool is she, kind of a thing. I like that.
This may be stupid, Chris, but
this is my favorite part of the segment.
I don't think you've ever asked this.
Welcome back to This May Be Stupid.
Does altitude matter when it comes to smoking cigars at all? Like, if
you Colorado versus here?
Yeah, like if you're in a high altitude, would the burn be different or anything about the...
I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's not stupid.
I know altitude affects, you know, like if you have a propane heater, people that go high altitude.
I know it
camping,
affects me eating
different
gummy
kinds of
bears.
stoves.
I know that, Chris.
Or like it also affects like alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
You get a little like because you're until you acclimate
I
to
get
that.
goofy in Colorado.
And like carburetors and the way things like
Sure, the way your like naturally aspirated vehicles run.
Naturally aspirated engines work
Yeah.
differently in higher altitudes for sure. But I don't think it's so much going to affect the smoking experience. Now, what I do think will change it is the atmospheric conditions from a humidity standpoint, right? If you're out in the desert in a dry environment, your cigar is going to smoke a lot faster than it is in an area with more humidity because your cigar is going to soak up some of that humidity, so it's going to have a little more moisture. So you may have to, touch it up more often. It may go out on its own because the moisture content may be a little bit higher. When I go out to Vegas for the trade shows, those cigars, if somebody hands you a cigar, if you don't put it in a humidified bag or a humidor, just in a day or two, those things will be super dry. So it's something that we get spoiled at here in Florida. I can leave a cigar laying out for a couple of days and it'll be fine. You leave it out for 6 hours in Nevada or Arizona, and it's just dry twigs. I mean, it just like blow up on you when you light it. So I don't think altitude has as much to do with it as
humidity.
As the humidity.
I miss cigars blowing up in people's faces.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You put the
We need
load
in the
in
cartoons,
the,
right?
We need to bring that back. We need to bring back the boom. Ruin my day.
Well, Chris, it was great talking to you. As always, we appreciate talking some sports and cigars and I feel like
NFTs. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I'll never do that again.
And any particular promotions or anything going on?
No, like you said, man, the Tom and Dan thing is great. And like I said, you can stack that. That discount is off your purchase, right? So we're always running other deals.
Stack that.
And like I said, I can't keep up with them all. Just had a meeting yesterday about what we're going to do in July. So a lot of cool stuff. If you're not signed up for the emails, we don't send a lot of emails out, but when we do send you an email, it's a really good deal. So if you're a cigar smoker, obviously you are. If you're shopping at humidor.com, make sure we have your email because we offer some really cool stuff and
Indeed.
And sometimes some exclusive deals you only get with us. So
There you go.
really cool stuff.
Let's see. Grady Season says that the manager of his ABC says hello to you. Did you see that message come through? Like, we've got chat room listeners that use the people's humidor so much. I guess they have a huge humidor at his location in maybe Naples.
Okay.
Is that a big humidor? And he said the manager was asking about
Naples.
Yeah,
Naples is pretty big.
Yeah, he said that the manager was asking how you were.
All right.
Weird.
Going through Twitch to talk to Chris.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. We'll talk to you next month, all right?
All right, man. Thanks.
All right,
man.
man.
See ya.
See ya. That is Chris Gwaltney, live from Forest, a beautiful forest.
Thehumidor.com. All right, bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here, Butler's here, and we have more guests. Cavalcade of Stars, sir.
Yep. This gentleman's going to be at Porky's Comedy Club in Kissimmee on April 30th through May 1st, basically Friday and Saturday. And he is Killer Bee's friend.
Yeah, he's a buddy of Bees.
And we got comedian Moody Malavi. How you doing, Moody?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Good, man. Thanks so much. Thanks for being on the show. We appreciate it.
I like your first name, Moody. It's not very, I don't hear it that much. And it makes me happy. I'm not sure.
Well, you're a Moody. You're a Moody. You're the moodiest person on the show. And that is your actual first name, or is that something just people call you?
Oh, no.
No,
it's a nickname a manager gave me years ago. I was working at a billiard club, and he gave me a shirt that said Moody. And I said, "What's this?" He goes, "It's your name." I said, okay. My real name is Mahmoud. And he's like, these people, they drink, and they can't pronounce that. So it's Moody. And it's been on there ever since.
I like that.
Yeah. We are like I do this too because I'm
you
a
have
moron.
You have to dumb down exotic names because you're stupid.
Because I can't pronounce. Like first, I
Neither
can
of
barely
us can.
read. So anybody with a weird name, I'm like immediately go to nickname. And then it's disrespectful, though, because it's like, I can't pronounce your name, so I'm going to call you something else.
Yeah, it is rude. It's rude.
So he wanted you to go Moody, but keep the Malavi.
Yeah, I guess because he never got that far. You know,
It's exactly.
It's too much to put on a shirt. When I first came to the United States, I was 6, and I wanted to play football or soccer.
There you go. Yeah.
And the lady signing us up was at a Presbyterian church, and she looked at the name. She's like, "We can't pronounce this name. You're going to have an American name." So she named me Mac.
Okay, again, it's disrespectful because you're like, I can't pronounce this, but you can. If you try?
What do you expect him to do though? He's gonna have a fight with a lady.
You can make the sounds, and if you practiced, you can pronounce it. But you're telling me
stubborn.
You're not interested in even trying. But that's basically what we're all saying, right? When we were like, I'm gonna call you this because I can't say that. You can technically if you tried.
I get calls all the time, and they'll say, "Is Mohammed there?" And I'm like, "No," because Mohammed was my dad.
Mohammed. See, these are all great names. Yes. These are all like exotic, cool names. What's funny about this is you bring up something. We've always had this stereotype of like Americans are lazy. If we can't even attempt to say your name, then your stereotype is accurate. If the first time we meet you, I change your name to Moody, you're right. That makes sense to me, Tom. I've never thought of it like that.
But this happens this has been going on, by the way, since like people were coming into New York, like if they would just change their name legally, like they wouldn't even ask you. They'd just be like, your legal name is Bill.
Well, Moody,
I don't know this other thing.
Moody, did you perform comedy, for a long time before somebody just basically changed your name, or how did you get into doing stand-up comedy?
And let's go back a little bit too, because you got an interesting story. You came here from Iran, and at the age of 6 with your siblings, because your dad was Iranian and your mom was American. Start from there. Like, how did that happen?
So my mom was a nurse and dad was a doctor. He's an orthopedic. They met in Chattanooga, Tennessee in the 60s. They got married and they went back to his house. It was a little further journey than expected, but, they got there. And the Iranian Revolution happened 15 years after that. Mom was like, we probably need to get out of Dodge because my oldest brother was draftable. He was 14.
Right. Oh, wow.
So we thought it would be a battle, it wouldn't be some big deal. And it got to be worse and worse. And we went to Greece. We went to Spain. We stayed in Spain for a year and a half. And Mom finally said, I'm going back to Chattanooga. And she took 3 Iranian baby boys to the South in 1981. So that was fun.
Wow.
That's nuts.
I have a ton of respect for her because, she's always persevering through all that stuff, and she lived as a blonde-haired, green-eyed Southern belle in Iran, not wearing the chadors or anything else like that. She was just herself. And my dad, actually, he was appointed to the court, which was the palace where the Shah was, and so he had to be their orthopedic.
Oh, wow.
Not something he wanted to do, but something he was commanded to do. And Mom was one of the women of the court because of that. It was kind of like being a preacher's wife, I guess. I don't know. So she was the only one that's not dressed to the nines as the queen comes by to inspect all the women of the court. And she's like, "You're a American, right?" She goes, "Yeah."
That's insane,
Moody. It's crazy for your mom at that time because I imagine they were way more like.
So she's like
conservative about
Chattanooga
dress.
Persian. Like, how does that even work? That's awesome.
And there probably was barely any Americans walking around in Iran at that time. Like,
did she have big hair?
No. It was the 60s. She had the whatever you call it, the kind of helmet.
Yeah, the little swoopy doo. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, the swoopy doo. And actually, Iran, because the Shah was becoming Americanized, right? So they would have cookouts or whatever picnics at the palace, and it would be fried chicken. They were doing American fare. They were trying, and that was really the Iranian Revolution. The reason behind it was because they don't want to Americanize. And so that's why they wanted to get rid of the Shah. And he was an extremely impressive fellow. I remember my dad would never take payments for surgeries. He would just take whatever the government would pay for them. And he would never take doctor's visits or anything else. So it wasn't like, hey, we were a rich doctor's family. He's like, no, there was no reason. Why
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what I was trained to do. So we would have these brass giraffes that were like 4, feet tall, taller than me at the time. And, we never wanted for anything. Matter of fact, when my dad went there back to the state or back to Iran from being at the States, going through his doctor training and residency and everything else, he had to serve 3 years in the military. And mom was there left alone with her little baby, my oldest brother. And she didn't leave the house. She was scared. She's like, I don't know the language. I don't know but she got hungry. And she didn't know how much money she had or whatever. And imagine like Little Italy in New York, the old guys sitting on the little bistro tables outside across from this apartment. That's what it's like. And so she finally gets the courage to go out there with the money she had. She didn't know what it was, like what the notes were. And they go, which is like, hey, how are you doing? And she goes, I just need to get some milk and some bread. They're like, oh, yeah, sure, we can help you. So they're speaking English. And she goes, you know English? She's like, yeah, absolutely. We're wondering, how long are you going to be in this place? We never see you.
Well, you've been hiding inside the whole time.
So she's just super hungry. They're like, let's take you through here. She goes, I don't know what anything costs. She goes, your daughter Malavi's wife. You'd pay for nothing. We'll settle with him when he gets back. And that's what it was like. It was just a community thing. And people have no idea that Iran is and was like that. They just think, they're Iranian and they're horrible people. And, it really just comes down to they're beautiful people, beautiful country, amazing culture, really weird government. Oh, it could be here too,
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of the overall theme that we've always found is like, especially here in America, you always get influenced by the media or what you hear or what, and like everybody around the world, just wants a good life and are good people.
I just want some bread and milk, man.
Small, there's no lumping some like, if you're from this region, be careful with that. Everybody just wants the same thing in their lives. And we've talked to people that traveled around the world and we've been to every community and it's like, hey, people are good. People want to help each other. Like human beings would like to help you. There's a few like bad apples that, the spoiled
There's
for people.
Greed and strange government regimes and religious extremists and odd things that take good countries and good people and kind of twist it up and make it sad.
But you walk through 99% of every community and people want to help other people. Yeah, and that's what and that's what I've heard from and I feel like we just need to remind ourselves like human beings are good. Don't let the real bad ones have influence over any sort of group.
And I'm going to assume, and I hate assuming, but you weave a lot of these tales into your comedy, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, so, you have a lot to share, I'm sure, with this. I mean, that sounds like a sitcom, man. I'm surprised you haven't been approached in some way to kind of make your family, your mom and dad's story into like more. That's interesting.
Yeah, it would be fun. Maybe one of your viewers are like, this is what we should do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Our guy.
I know a guy. Yeah. I know a guy who can do this. I actually talk about something called Human I Thank You. Human I Thank You, if you take the word humanity and like you're texting it and you say human space I space TY, it says Human I Thank You. And the premise behind that is more often than not, in today's society, when people look at someone, they're looking to see if that person is bad for them. Not how can I be good for that person? And so what I'm trying to do is flip that on its head. And no matter who it is in front of you, to me, and I'm not trying to get religious at this point, but
no, you're good.
God puts people in the path in front of you for a reason. It's up to you to do whatever you want to do with it. And so I see these people and opportunities all the time. And so I always want to say, hey, how are you doing? What's your name? And asking that name up front just to start a relationship, even if it's, especially transactional relationships like a server at a restaurant or a customer service person or whatever, is to break down that barrier and just start being nice to them first. And so that's where that Human I Thank You came from. And I take it to, I've lost over 80 pounds in the last 9 months.
Nice, man.
And my reward to myself isn't, hey, let's go get some cake I've been wanting, I actually work cake into my plan. Like, okay, that's 700 calories. I can work these around and enjoy that time with my friends, whatever. What I do is I put money aside and then I go to places like Aldi or Kroger or whatever, and I just pay for someone's groceries. And I got to the point that I'm looking at someone who's trying to pay for everything with cash or whatever, and I just go and ask them, like, hey, is there something, would you mind if I buy the groceries? And it's a really awkward conversation, but then it gets over really fast when they realize there's nothing behind it. And that's how I treat myself when I'm hitting certain goals. And the goal doesn't have to be losing weight. The goal could be not gaining weight, because that's a big deal for me.
Yeah. God, man, Moody, you're kind of flipping me here, because maybe that's better than my approach, which is going on social media, finding anyone's accomplishment and talking S about it on the comment. Because that's what I thought would make me happy. Yeah. And I was just like, anybody who did anything good, I immediately S on it.
Or
on
they
their
share
comments.
something they enjoy. My favorite are the simple ones, like picture of new truck they saved a lot of money for. They saved up their money. I like to say how horrible that truck is.
Or I thumbs up when someone's grandma died or anything horrible. When they say anything horrible, I give thumbs up.
Actually, I blew my own one. My favorite one is when somebody saves money for a truck or some sort of vehicle, and then right underneath it somebody writes, unreliable. Those are my favorites. Those are my favorites, because I'm like, it doesn't matter. This person saved their GD money.
Why would you say
that? Why are you doing that? Yeah. Why did you need to say that?
I'm with them. I'm with unreliable because that's funnier.
Now that is my pastime. My pastime is messing with people. So just because I'm being nice to people doesn't mean I'm like,
of course.
Yeah, it's true. I never thought of it like that. Like we do a bit called Straight Talk where we kind of mess with people, but normally we give people the ability to get their message out there. It is better to have, on the grand scheme of things, have like a positive ending to your messing with people.
And Moody, we're just effing around because anytime, because you're 100% right. And that's awesome that you do that, and it makes you feel better as a human being, and that's ingrained. It goes to show you, why do we do that? We don't need to do that. There's nothing in it for us, but because we do that, it tells me that all humans have that inside them, and therefore we're all good inherently, some bad.
For the most part, sometimes.
Anyway, Moody, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Again, you're going to be at Porky's Comedy Club in Kissimmee.
Yes, sir.
And the website people can get tickets? I should know that.
It's just porkyscomedyclub.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Put me on the spot.
I'm putting in the Twitch chat for you.
She knows all the good
stuff. It's right there on the front page. It says get tickets.
Oh, okay.
What was the voice I heard? Okay. Well, hey, Moody, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, man. Be well.
Bye-bye.
You blew it.
No, hold on a second.
Do you know the website? And why would I put him on the spot? I usually don't do that. But
couldn't hang up on him.
Why were you so mean to Moody?
I couldn't hang up on him.
He's a
nice man.
Super nice guy.
He does. He just did a dry bar comedy special. We could have asked him about that, but I'd rather you just go see it. But go support him and get his viewership up. That dry bar stuff has exploded because sometimes people want comedy that just doesn't have a lot of filthy things in it. And I'm not that person.
Also, some people, you could automatically tell they're engaged in the conversation and a smart person.
He's a smart guy.
Immediately, oh, there it is. Not that all our guests are not oh, there it is.
Our guys here. You would think they know by now, right?
They don't, dude. They're
robots.
They're just blowing the leaves.
Blowbots. They're blowbots.
They just get through their day. No headphones for whatever reason.
Lately they've been doing something a little bit different, and I think they're going crazy because they've been walking in the center of the road and blowing the road off. Is that a thing?
They probably yelled at them. They're like, too much. All the rich people complained about too many leaves on the road.
That's what the road's for.
Yeah, and then they just blow it on your car.
Right. That's what. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
See, she gets it.
It's dumb. It makes me angry.
Why are you standing in the middle of the road blowing the leaves to the sidewalks?
Listen, all this is not about what's the best thing to do.
Okay.
This is all about.
That's making sense.
How can I get out of here to go drink some beers after work?
It's wasting time until your time is up.
That's what everything's about. It's not about doing a good job or what's the most logical thing or what would be the best for the community. It's how can I get the hell out of here?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I could go home and smoke weed and drink beer.
Just quit. And then
No,
you need a
you
paycheck.
need the money.
no, you got to start robbing people.
Well, that's the next step.
Easier. It's quicker.
Yeah.
Working. Look, I could either work for 12 hours or 9 hours a day, or I could stick up some old lady.
Yeah.
And
Robbing
steal
is
a
definitely
love
easier.
money,
Yeah.
or hit somebody coming out of a medical marijuana dispensary, push them down and take their bag.
Yeah, you eventually get caught, and then you got to do time, and then it's just
Well,
the
I'm not
endless
saying
cycle.
I would do this. I'm not very large.
Yeah.
So I mean, looking for targets for me
It's
would be
easier.
hard.
Stealing is definitely easier. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
How come people aren't taking all the money out of fountains? That's not illegal.
I think
It is illegal.
How is that illegal? Show me the law.
Tommy did that the other day.
Good for
You got a thief for a
there
son.
we go.
And then I
love
said
it.
you're stealing someone's dreams.
Oh, why are you making? Oh, that's the worst
Yeah.
thing you could have said.
I didn't
to
even
him.
want to say it, but
You're a
Crystal made me
mean-
say it.
You're a mean person.
But she made me tell him some nonsense, and
You're stealing people's dreams.
because there's their wishes.
My God.
You're
What
stealing
kind of
people's
kids
wishes.
are you making over there,
Well, I'm
man?
just saying you're stealing the people's wishes.
When the Ruskies come back and they're dropping bombs on us because Putin's a killer, we're not going to be saved by the new generation saying,
Oh, no.
good thing I didn't steal those dream coins.
Oh yeah, no, you can't draft my son. They'll do nothing. You need a drone. But a
You
drone's
need a
way better.
drone.
but I'm fine. Like we're never gonna need. You can't put an M16 in Tommy's hand. Max, he's strong,
Oh,
but
yeah.
just use the drones.
All the drones.
You already got the drones. It's fine.
Oh, God, that reminds me. About 4 years ago, the producer of the Buckethead Show, Drone, he wrote a movie, and he sent it to me 4 years ago and asked me to read it and then report back to him, and I never called him back. I just remember
What the hell? Did you remember that?
I just remember.
That's a Swiss
That's
cheese.
how bad my memory is.
Yeah.
You said use the
Drones,
drones, and I was
yeah.
like, I need to call Drone back.
I thought it was Jerome that whole time.
No, it was Drone.
Oh, okay. Drone?
Drone.
Daron.
Drone.
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 Yes.
All right.
You thought his name was Jerome?
I called him Jerome for
Oh
like
my
a year.
God. Okay, Moody.
Well, that's whose name is Drone?
That guy's.
His name
Darone?
Jerome.
Daron.
But that was a radio name, right? Or is that his real
No,
name?
No, his real name was Daron.
He's an attorney, for Christ's sake. He's like
He's an attorney? Why the hell was he a radio intern?
because that was his dream.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to steal his dream? Where's the coins?
That's a stupid dream, Jerome. I'll tell you that.
That's the one that Tommy plucked out of the fountain.
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here. How are the fish? Have we checked them? recently?
I
Let me-
put water in
hold
the
on.
tank yesterday.
Okay.
They should be
What
good.
have you done for me lately? Let's go to the tank. And,
We
oh,
never-
wow. There's a baby dory, murder shrimp. All the little beeholes are real perky and good. Murder shrimp to your right. He looks great.
That baby dory, that's the
That's
longest.
a big dory, dude.
That's the longest fish we've had, right?
Yeah, because
that's
it
lived-
ate all the other fish.
Yeah. That
It
thing is
murdered
a
'em.
survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing's going to make it.
I think the shrimp are the oldest thing we have in there.
No, we got that
No.
dory before
No,
the shrimp.
the
No,
other dory got ate up
Oh,
before
yeah,
we got this dory.
This is dory
number two.
Yeah,
This is dory
we got the
two.
bigger one after. Yeah, the murder shrimp.
Well, we had to get the shrimp. Okay, you guys,
those
you
things
guys
are-
are just spreading fake news. The shrimp have done nothing wrong. This is where the problems start. This is what happens.
Yeah. I know, but I could do it now. The fish are the only ones I could do it to nowadays.
Yeah, it makes you feel better to do.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
keep a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Okay. But we got this new little fish. He's see-through, and he's got like little yellow or tan like camouflage dots on him. And he will munch a big mouth of like maybe 15 to 20 rocks. Then he will use his mega sucking power to rip algae off of the rocks, and then he will poop spit the rocks out of each sides of his gills back in like a modern day vacuum, like a Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
He's
amazing.
our biggest asset right now.
He is definitely great. I don't know what kind of fish it is.
You know, I posted that to my Snapchat, and someone told me what kind of fish it was, and now I totally forgot. So that's good.
Yeah, well, it's always some sort of weird name, and you're like, oh, that's the name. You barely pronounce it, and you're like, well, I didn't even care.
like,
I don't care. Like, I don't really
I'm not going to
care.
retain this information.
Yeah, make the names easy for me to remember. This is how I am with
Yeah.
plants. Like you plant people, like that. By the way, the BDM growers and showers page is one of the most active BDM page. I love that page because
Yeah.
I'm starting to get some plants. You know, like I'm
Well,
very low level.
Why did you talk to me about it?
No, I'm doing it on my own.
What kind of plants are you getting?
I don't want. I'm not telling you because you're gonna make fun of them.
Getting,
and I'm enjoying
some stinky succulents.
I didn't get any stinky suckers.
The...
You're a stinky sucker. I didn't get any stinky succulents.
Okay.
They're all actual plants. They're not air plants.
Okay. Well, what are you talking about?
I don't know what they are. Yeah, they got pots.
Where are you putting them on your balcony?
No, I got them in different areas of I got one in the kitchen that loves the light there. I got one on my dining room table, and then I got one near my TV.
Well, are they broadleaf?
I'm not gonna show you because you're gonna pick. They're very rudimentary, low level.
They're not IKEA plants.
House?
Are they?
No, they're not IKEA plants.
Where'd you get them at? Walmart?
I'm not telling. No, I didn't get them. No.
Okay.
I got them from a fancy place in town that I got my wife a Plant of the Month club membership. And she goes over to the plant place. They give her the plant, and she spends way too much in a pot. And then we put it in the house, and we take.
Well, I feel kind of insulted that no one's talked to me about this.
Well, your stuff always looks a little janky. You know, it's like a little dirty.
How dare you?
It's a little dirty. You know, there's like the. It's like if you look at my plants, they may not be better than your plants, and your plants are far more exotic, but my plants are cleaner and look like they have less disease.
Samantha, this is a slap in the face, and I'll explain. It's like, okay, if you wanted to get into grifting, right, and you were like, my new hobby is grifting, and then you started just researching grifting yourself.
Well, she'd go to Butler because he's the king of grifts.
Well, no, and you never talked to old Grifton Jess one time, and then you told her, you're like, hey, I've been studying grifting for the past year. I've been talked to a couple of grifters, and she would be insulted. Be like, why didn't you come to me? Your best grifting friend.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So that's how I feel right now because you didn't because your wife didn't ask me at all. Like, hey, is this plant good? Where is this plant ranked?
She thinks your plants are janky, dude.
No,
we both do.
She wants
our whole
fancy
family
plants.
thinks your plants look like garbage. I'm just saying it. Because they're not. They're all over the place. They're not organized. They're in little Dixie cups. Like when I go to your house,
that's the propagation
station.
Yeah,
you're right. It does kind of look like a meth house with plants.
I'm not trying to be
mean.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm agreeing with you. You know more about plants. Your plants are more exotic and crazier. I have very low level, simple plants that even dum-dums can take care of, but my plants look clean and organized. Your plants are all in a bunch of trash, and they're just kind of spewing around.
Yeah.
And they're they got toothpicks holding them up, and you got a root over here, you got a potato growing over here, you got this.
It's like the end of the world over there.
It looks like my spaceship crashed, and I found a dwelling, and I opened it up.
Matt Damon and
I realized that somebody had been living here, and then all these plants are everywhere, and I'm like, hello. Is anybody in this trash plant dwelling? I'm here. Yes, hello. I've got my laser gun on you. Do not make a move. I will shoot you through my trash plant.
You guys are supporting Big Plant and and you guys are buying from big corporate plant corporations.
Where do you get your plants?
I some of them make myself. We trade.
Why do you make a plant?
I propagate them myself. Though.
From where?
From my own plant supply.
Never get high on your own supply.
I take older plants and I make new
Where'd
baby
the older
plants.
come from?
Well, some of them are growing around my yard. Some of them
you're like a Frankenstein over there. You're bringing them back to life.
I get cuttings from other plant enthusiasts from their collections, and then I propagate.
That's why there's that trash laying everywhere. There's bags of mulch. There's a bag of this rocks.
Because I'm starting the plants from Crystal made our avocado trees, and I'm gonna graft some fruit-bearing branches on them, and in the future. So she started hers from seeds. Like we've started our plants from the bottom. Now we're here. Drake, plant Drake. And you guys are just going to Target.
I did not go to Target.
Or you're going on some Plant Arena website and you're paying expensive monthly memberships for someone to send you a stinky.
I go to Liner Patch Nursery in Apopka to get my plants.
It's not sent.
Because they're a semantic sponsor.
It's
what? I want a plant nursery sponsor.
Well, you should have got in on it.
What is it called? Liners? Linus plants?
Liner Patch.
Liner Patch.
Well, my wife shaved her liner patch.
Do they got a greenhouse?
They got everything, bro.
Dude, they got a greenhouse?
I'm looking for some more Monstera.
Support local business.
I also want some palm. I want a big. Okay, speaking of plants,
Oh, you want a big palm tree so you can climb up it wearing white shorts, slide down it, and make it look like you pooped yourself.
the bow roads.
Bow roads.
So, I'm in the process right now of re-landscaping my backyard.
Well, you should really
Oh,
skip
God.
your living room because it's filled with Dixie cups of plant clippings.
And so I'm putting the showpiece in the middle,
What is
which
it, your
Chris was
Linus
making fun
patch?
of. And then I'm looking to plant a sizable palm tree,
What does sizable mean?
like a 10-footer.
Whoa! All right, that's
you know,
big
like,
money.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
big
yeah.
money. Yeah.
And I'm looking at this one area.
I know
I've
where
kind
you
of-
can steal
I've-
from.
I've-
Right in front of Orlando City Stadium. There's a
Don't
beautiful
steal
one.
it.
Yeah.
Or dig
It's
it up.
beautiful. We just have to distract Kingston long enough for me and you
In the
to
middle of
sneak
the
up
night.
there, and then I'm gonna yell someone at the gentrified businesses to see if they'll help out. I'm like, we're getting them. I'll tell that church. We're getting them.
And then I haven't told Crystal about this because
That's good.
I want to do it myself, and I want to buy a 10-foot bum tree, and then with
Bum
a
10-foot bum tree.
I heard bum tree too.
No, palm tree.
Hold on a second.
With a big root bulb in the bottom, the whole thing, and
Yeah.
then dig a whole big
Yeah,
hole.
you're gonna have to tear your screen out.
No, well,
It's part of your waterfall, right?
no. This is behind my enclosure,
Oh.
and then but I want
Gonna
to.
have one random palm tree.
Well, there's a couple. It's all part
See,
of
nothing's symmetrical. Everything's
well, that's what
all
she
over
yells.
the place.
But it's custom. Like she wants.
But it looks terrible.
She wants the nice uniform corporate thing.
What are you talking about? The
Just
uniform-
like Daniel.
You just want a jungle
What, she
back
wants
there.
a nice looking backyard instead of your trash. You have the equivalent.
that's what she says.
You have the equivalent of those guys that get so many fines from the city that you make an aluminum foil middle finger and put it on your roof. You're that guy. You put the aluminum foil middle finger on your roof and you're like, "Come get me, buddy Dyer." You're that guy. You're that guy.
Well, my papa hated the government.
know.
And that's leeching into me a little
Just
bit.
buy the good.
He hated all
Just
of them.
have them come and have them elevate certain areas so you have like areas that are
No,
like
no.
higher and lower.
That takes. Well,
Get a
I
little
can't do that
koi
myself.
pond. You can't do any of this yourself. You can't do anything yourself. You've never done anything.
Oh, man.
You've
But
never,
that's what I
no,
want.
I'm tired of this.
All right.
I don't want to.
This is the end. It ends today.
Plant Drake's dreams are being crushed.
It ends today, Highlander. You can't do anything. Stop.
Wow.
Buy the thing.
No. Those are
Call
tough,
the people.
tough words.
Butler, call Six Flags. We need everybody coming out.
Well,
We need the whole nine.
Six Flags. I'm using Six Flags. I just use them for.
Well, who's going to install it?
Well, the rocks, because my landscaper Sean came in, worked with Six Flags, and dug. I had to dig this huge rock pit because my house was flooding.
That's Samantha's brewery partner.
No.
You trying to
Yeah, it's
steal
Rock
that
Pit
too?
Brewing. That's my other
I tried-
sponsor.
I have tried to steal
I
that.
put my rock pit in my wife's Linus patch.
But so that I used a Six Flags mulch, got the rocks. I think it was like 110 bags of rocks. The rock because the rock pit. That's the
110 bags of rocks?
Yeah. That was a lot of rocks.
Man.
But
Do you have any grass?
that
Or is it just a rock garden?
I don't want to do that. That's hard ass work. But what I do want to do is
You want to do the designing, like
yes.
like your Arnold Palmer
Yes, yeah.
designing a golf course.
I want to design my backyard, but I don't want to do the corporate like put these hedges and these
what we're gonna do
umbrella
here,
trees.
We're gonna get a stack of see-through Dixie cups 6 feet tall here. Then I'm gonna need toothpicks over here. I'm gonna need a pile of rotten potatoes over here. Then I'm gonna need a rusted gas tank right here.
Because when I look at it when I'm finished with the final product, I'll be like, I did that myself with my own 2 hands, and I did this
Like,
all.
oh, I know what this is about.
And then
what do you think this is about? What do you think fueled this earlier in the week?
what?
Those mud people that build the mansions, the mansion mud people that build
No.
the mansions. He's been watching those YouTube videos with his sons these mud people building the, and that's disrespectful that I called them that. I don't know who these people are.
Right.
Yeah,
But they build the mansions out of mud using nothing but a stick and a pair of cargo shorts.
Yeah, those are more artists and sculptors and stuff like that. I think they're not really doing this to live anyway.
I mean, it's gonna look.
But you want to
nice.
design your backyard and you're not a designer. So
I am not, but that's part of the enjoyment I get out of it.
You're Louis Vuitton.
it's going to end up like your house where you keep redoing it every couple years.
Well, Crystal she's like, it's all over the place. She's
What's she talking about?
With the landscaping.
Looking at your computer keyboard again.
But she's like, look, there's plants everywhere. They got this, and there's no
It's
rhyme
just,
or...
it's random as hell, bro. You gotta clean it up.
Yeah, it's like I keep waiting for Phil Collins to sing the Tarzan song when I'm back there.
But I don't want the uniform corporate plants. I want...
You want chaos.
You want a messy... Yeah, you're like the guy, I don't want to comb my hair. I just want it to be a big matted ball of crap.
I want each plant to mean something. Because
You can't see them.
No, I can't. I know they're there. She sees a
it's
mess.
like your desk. It's his desk.
I see. I'm like, this one I went and got, and I...
oh, my God. You tell stories behind the plants?
Oh, I don't tell them to anybody because no one cares.
Oh, there. You talk to your plants?
Crystal does this thing where I'm telling her something, and then she starts nodding like Dwight Schrute. And then bullying me. It's like my own wife, the only person I can't talk to you guys.
Take the hint.
I can only talk to literally this Black D.
A lot of people don't know that when we
This
do
is the
these
only
live
time I
in
talk.
the morning, it's dead silent in here.
As
It's
Daniel,
weird.
on vacation, I don't talk to anybody.
He didn't say a weird. He did say a weird. He didn't say a word in Colorado to me. He didn't speak 5 words to me.
Well, no one wants to hear.
He was missing his plants.
I like to hear the things you said. Just yesterday, you made Sam mad because you want to marry Elon Musk. You love him, bro.
It didn't make me mad about that. It's just I give you an answer and it's not good enough.
Well, I don't know the answer. Well, that is. Some answers aren't good enough.
Okay.
Now that I will agree
Well, then
with.
stop screaming at
My
me.
wife tries that one. But, she gives me an answer.
You don't like the answer,
Yeah.
that's fine, but don't keep yelling at me to give you more answers.
Well, it's the only time I can yell at anybody.
Now we got
It's
you.
just me and the plants, and I can't yell at
Go
them.
yell at your plants.
Like, well,
then they'll run away. They'll
my sons
die.
will think I'm crazy
Well,
because
the shoe fits.
I know.
This is one of my favorite segments we've ever done. I feel like we did a lot of good here.
I don't
But
know.
we're supposed to do
So,
voicemails.
I know.
We haven't done any, right?
I know. Well, no, we're talking about his trash
I'm
plant.
buying the 10-foot palm tree and planting it this weekend.
How much?
Tactical Hat says he has a bunch of palm trees in his backyard. You're free to get one if
No.
you want.
You can fog
You
them
gotta
up.
bring the fog machine back, though.
Well,
I'll help you.
Who's gonna dig them up?
Well, he says you have to dig it
Well,
up. He's giving it to you for free.
Well, that's a lot of work, and I bring some workers to dig up the palm tree.
Workers.
You know.
Tommy and
Who are you
Max. Like,
bringing?
what are you
Butler?
doing?
Well, I'll send.
No, don't get Butler.
By bring, I mean I'll send because I
Yes, you're not
drive
going.
all the way down and dig up a palm tree.
Who are you sending to get this palm tree?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people. One time I gave away a palm tree in Deltona to a guy that was
What
a
if
BDM.
this was the same palm tree and it's like that guy that finds his first vehicle 20 years later?
I'm not joking. His name is still on my cell phone as his first name, Palm Tree. And then
Yeah.
he came and literally, he's a grifter. He sold the palm tree to some lady that he knows for $300, and I just needed it out because
Yeah.
I wanted to put a paver area for my boat, and it was like a 20-foot palm tree, right?
Palm trees are trashy, man. I need a paving area.
And he dug this thing up himself with a shovel.
That's balls.
And then took an engine lift, like a cherry picker, and then jacked it up, and then put some trash bags around the bulb to
That's
keep
what
it
you do.
moist.
Yep.
And then basically himself used a cherry picker to put it on the back of a trailer and drive it to this lady's house and plant it in her front
That's
yard.
cool. How much? How much do you sell it for, you think?
Well, he told me $300, but I'm like, that's an insane amount of work.
What does a 10-foot tall palm tree run you?
Oh, more expensive if you bought it from like one of these farms. Like a 10-foot palm tree is probably around $300 to $500 maybe.
It's expensive, man.
Depending on what kind, like a queen palm, you can shop.
Is there
around
any
and-
specific type you're looking for that you want? Is this to go with a waterfall, water feature? What are you adding back here? Koi pond?
I can't. No, well,
Or are you just going tree?
I've been talking koi pond with Six Flags because they do koi
Will
ponds.
your
there.
wife let you have fish? Because they won't be free roaming. They'll be in that tiny little pond.
Well, you know, they'll eat out of your hand. You know, that's
Yeah,
like
no, we feed them at grills.
Yeah.
Every time I go to grills, I feed the koi.
And they'll like swim through your fingers. They're like domesticated fish. It's weird. But my only problem with the koi pond is that
Oh, yeah, you got birds.
not birds.
Raccoons.
Oh, your raccoons will eat them
The
all.
raccoons will eat my
Oh,
koi.
and they'll love it.
Yeah.
They'll
like sushi.
Tonight we dine in hell. Like, they will literally go mad.
Yeah. They'll eat
Oh,
the
they
koi.
see the orange too. They'd be like, "Oh my god, they're dancing!"
Yeah.
Block party.
And if they eat I'm trying to machete
Well,
crazy.
that would be the end of your relationship because you'd kill all the raccoons and then your wife would divorce you.
Yeah.
Because you'd be covered in blood, standing there in just chubbies holding a machete.
And I got a leaf problem. So the leaves, like I imagine constantly battling the leaves, and like the it needs like a pump.
You know what helps that? More trees.
How about a flag? You need a flag. How about like a novelty flag for the season?
What do you mean, in my backyard?
Yeah,
Like
just
a garden flag?
like a nice
I don't want that.
iron garden
No,
flag, with
that's
like
stupid.
maybe a couple of like butterflies.
Tom's secret garden.
Yeah, you need something other than just a palm tree. What do you sit back there and look at a palm tree?
Well, that's just one aspect of it. I got a whole.
Get a bird feeder.
I got
Yes.
hibiscus, the raccoons.
Or a bird fountain?
What's a bird fountain?
Like a bird bath?
Oh, bird bath.
Yeah, that.
right.
I mean, the raccoons might bathe in it too, but
Oh, they will.
I don't think a bird bath attracts birds that much.
They don't bathe very often.
Like right,
That's the thing about
a bird
birds.
feeder would.
Yeah.
But the
That's what Dad and I found out when we started that bird shoe company.
birds are an old man's game. I don't care. I hate birds.
Okay.
I don't care about birds. I want luxurious tropical trees.
Bees.
Bees. I thought about bees, but my mosquito nets
hum-
kill all of them.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Hummingbirds.
I have some hummingbirds.
Okay.
Juan in the Twitch chat says that the bird bath does definitely attract birds, and they have both and get tons of all kinds of birds.
Juan's lies have been spiraling out of control lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but since the pandemic, this man's knowledge has gone to zero. After the balloon incident where he told us the
that
balloon,
discredited it.
I'm sorry, but
You don't believe anything now?
No, I just
Yeah.
feel like he was playing had a strong con going,
Yeah.
and then it's
And
all starting to chip away now.
I remind Daniel every day about Juan and the balloon.
Yeah,
Like,
every
time
day we
Juan-
start the
James and
day.
the Giant
We
Peach.
hold hands and we're like, Juan and the balloon. Okay, and then we
Yeah.
start the day.
Because Daniel will tell me, like, Juan says we should do Twitch like this. And I'm like, oh, the balloon.
I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
That man worked his ass off at our Land Cruise for free.
Get the gift.
I saw the footage. It doesn't look like it.
You got a gift?
Well, we were going to get Juan a
Oh,
gift.
I wrote that down. Oh, Samantha's birthday gift. Oh, God. We got
All
to
the
buy
gifts.
Gifts for everybody. Palm trees. How many palm trees can we buy?
We'll buy 3.
Oh, I don't want
I
it.
need
Palm tree.
one.
I like how you loved yours in there, too.
Well,
Yeah, he added his. For
When I was a kid, that's what I would do. I'd buy
Yeah.
a birthday
One
gift for
for
somebody.
them,
I'd
one
be
for
like
me.
a G.I. Joe for Jeremy and a G.I. Joe for old Danny Denny.
where can we get some? Because what if we stumble? Because I feel like the government every once in a while wants to plant some palm trees like on the side of the road.
Dude, I'm telling you
and
right
then
now.
they like forget about them, and then someone's
Oh.
like, "Free palm trees
Dude,
over
they're
here."
everywhere.
Yeah,
There's
right?
so many.
There's gotta
Especially
be.
in Orlando. I mean, we just have palm trees everywhere.
Do I get a discount if I use your semantic sponsor on palm trees?
Linus Patch.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
You know, just because it's been a topic lately, we should talk about becoming a BDM.
No, I thought you were going to say something
No.
like I thought you were going to light the fires.
No.
It's like OnlyFans for your ears.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Only ears.
And there's
Except there's no nudity.
if you're a BDM, you get one. Actually, it's more. It's probably like what would you say? 3 hours of extra content if you
Oh,
count,
at least.
if you count the
3 to 5.
the old school OG shows. 'Cause-
Sometimes we throw a comedian one on the back of
Yeah.
that.
It's
plus
3 to
the
5.
OG intro.
I'm
plus
not
the
kidding.
BDM.
It's
Yeah.
3 to 5 hours of extra audio.
And then the new we do record a show every week, and that's on Facebook Live on our BDM Facebook page.
You get access to our Facebook page. You get to watch us live
Yeah.
from the studio.
And those are all BDMs. Then there's all the subgroups that are BDM groups, BDM Outdoorsman Group, BDM Culinary Group, BDM Parents Group,
BDM watch enthusiasts.
Nerds and Geeks Group, CBE,
Movies.
Craft Beer Enthusiasts Group.
THC heavy.
Yeah, there's a BDM Growers and Showers.
Swingers.
There's
Singles.
Tales from the Crypto BDM.
There's Music Men.
Jobs.
There's Vinyl Enthusiast.
Yeah, scuba diving. There's everything.
There's
Like-
Team No Kids.
Who's got gloves?
and,
There's a pet parents group.
Oh yeah. There's all and so
Rebel
that-
flag rafts.
and
It's
we
very specific.
we tell you BDMs first
Broken
about
fish tank group.
everything. And at this point, a lot of our
Members
listeners,
here first, bro.
a lot of our listeners are BDMs, and that's kind of how it shakes out after this much time. When we ask like who's a BDM as most people, right?
I do not like the term shakes out because I always think of that video of that Asian man at the airport who stands next to that stack of luggage and shakes a turd out of his khaki pants.
Yeah.
And also, what made me really realize it's the BDMs that support everything.
Yeah, they prop us all up.
Is when Bart and Crystal tell me, they're like, we basically only work with BDMs. Like, if they're buying or selling a house and they heard about it through Tom and Dan, they're BDMs.
Yeah.
Or at least they tell us. Like, they don't have any way to
They're
verify
not verifying.
it. Well, it's weird.
Yeah.
You're maybe right. Maybe
They're all you.
Yeah. You're right. I would say.
Where did you hear about this, Tom and Dan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Had no idea. Just walked in. I saw the sign. It said Realtor.
Anyway, what were we going to
Oh,
do?
the chat room's just lighting up with people that bought homes with Bart and Crystal. I sold my mom's home with Bart and Crystal.
Is there...
I bought my home with Bart and Crystal.
Yeah, you bought my dead mom's house.
Yep.
What is that?
See how she rolls with
It's a
it?
bad commute now,
Did you see
though.
the
I will
yes
say
hand?
that.
Did you see the yes hand there? And she doesn't get stuck in the mud like you do.
Is there anybody on our Twitch chat room right now that's not a BDM? That would be weird.
No, I'm sure there are.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess
Because Twitch is free, dude.
And sometimes we got some Twitch viewers that kind of wandered over, but by now, like it's the standard 144 or whatever it is.
Oh, now they're that was Sam. I was like, Sam's asking. I was like, they're getting mad in there now. They're gonna revolt on each other. Just
Bring
leave them
them out, bring them
alone.
out.
We take all comers, man. I don't care.
Listen, if you
You
don't
all
have
right?
to-
Oh, I thought you were lifting a boulder.
I mean,
I do not like this.
we do so much free content. It's like,
It's like, come on, throw us a couple pennies here.
Between the ACT shows, the Friday Free Show,
It's too much.
It's
too much. I told you this.
I could understand if you.
I don't even know why we do BDM shows.
Well, screw this. I don't need to become a BDM because you guys give us too many, shows anyway. So I don't care if you decide not to be a BDM.
I
That's
do.
fine.
I care.
Samantha cares.
Yeah, she
And
draws
I
a
do
line,
care.
man.
I do
She's a
care.
producer and she runs this place.
Something tells me for the past 3 days that you do care as well, Tom. But
Well,
Well, he's been screaming.
We'll
up
talk
in the
about that on the
rafters.
BDM show.
oh my God! So what can we do? We can't do
gotta
nothing.
do something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm too soft. I can't put on roofs.
We're rocketing towards the sun. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, and I've softened.
no longer coming in for a landing.
No. What happened to coming
Instead
in
of
for
to
a
the
landing?
moon, we're going to the sun.
The landing sounded pretty good.
It did.
Do you want to do voicemail messages before we lose our app?
By the way, my plan B is me and Daniel going full gay on OnlyFans. And he'll do it.
I'll just do it with my husband then.
Yeah,
if that's
yeah.
what we're doing.
Well, yeah.
Wait a minute.
well,
I
I'll
want to do it with Sam's husband.
Yeah, okay. Well, he can be involved, but me and you have to be
He
involved.
can film. He can film us.
Okay, all right.
And it's not. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to have sex. He gets crazy. We're just going to be nude and hold each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys made that weird.
Or
Spoonfest.
whatever you guys email us and
Yeah.
we'll do for money.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll
just
do
like-
anything for. In fact, I'll come
Email
to.
us.
Okay, here's what I would say. Here's
I
what
don't
I
know.
would say.
OnlyFans?
Here's what I would say. You could reach out to me on OnlyFans and tell me to come to your house, and for money, I would have sex with you.
All right, that's good. I like that. Business.
Yeah,
write
that
that
down.
Butler, write that down on the whiteboard.
I think that's better.
we'll
than,
have sex with you for money.
Yes, on the internet.
Yeah.
But we won't tell anybody, especially
Wait,
the
is
police.
it cyber?
Well, you
No,
Or
it's
in person?
In person, yeah. It's unprotected sex
Okay.
with strangers.
Butler, get a Zelle account or
Yeah,
Zelle.
get a Zelle. Zelle is a human.
Yeah.
Zelle is a money.
Okay, yeah. Get that at.
Get
yeah.
crypto and get the Doge.
Yeah. Buy Doge.
Buy Doge.
Hold
Buy
on.
Doge low when you sell. What's the other
To
one?
the moon.
What's the other one? Ethereum.
Oh, yeah.
Ethereum.
Don't buy that. Too
Don't buy
expensive.
Ethereum's too. That's a legit one. You got to buy the Doge.
Yeah.
Double Doge.
All right. So Doge and sex.
Doge bus coming down the street.
Doge and sex for money.
Yeah.
Deal.
Wait a minute. Sex for Doge.
Oh, baby, better. Oh, you're a genius.
I am
Why
a
aren't you
genius.
the business
I
department?
am a genius.
I'll be the TV guy.
Welcome back to Sex for Doge. I'm Doge. I'm Little Doge.
All right.
Let's try this one.
Hey, so just listening to you guys talk about TikTok and stuff and how short the videos are, but TikTok wasn't the first thing like this. I don't know if you guys remember Vine. It was like 6-second videos. It was the exact same thing, long
Same
time
company,
ago.
right?
Nothing bad really happened.
I don't think so.
It's just
I think Vine got killed, and then I think that Musically is now TikTok, right?
Well, TikTok was a Chinese company, right? And then that's what the whole problem was. And then they made them sell their United States interests to another company.
Okay, so Vine got bought by Twitter. TikTok is a Chinese company, and TikTok bought Musically.
Yes.
Oh, Musically. Right.
That's the one. Like they were going
But
for more of an emphasis of you like lip syncing or doing like classic movie dialogue.
Which I see a lot of on TikTok as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think it's like a meme or a viral video where these, new platforms, social media platforms, the reason why they're successful is a little bit of a happenstance mystery, right? Like you cannot set out, and you can a little bit, and with all the formula we know of, make a viral video, or have a better chance, but there's no guarantee. No one can say
It's ever changing, I feel like.
I don't think like anybody can say I will definitely make a viral video. This one will be it, right? Like,
No, I don't think you can do that.
There's a percentage chance. Now you could put in all the different things that other viral videos have and the hashtags and everything to give you the best chance.
Yeah.
But it's always a chance.
Yes,
right?
correct.
So then the reason why Vine is not as popular as TikTok, I think, is there's a lot of happenstance. Also, other social media companies buy up companies.
Well, they just added features. Like Instagram has Reels now, right?
Well, that's
And stories.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they all are. Reels or movies.
well. Then they steal from each other.
Yeah.
Like Instagram basically stole what
Snapchat,
Snapchat was doing.
Why do we need, like, I liked it better when we just had, like, give me a picture, give me a movie. Now it's, give me a picture, give me a movie, give me a picture that has GIFs on it, then add music. You're taking your photo now. Like, you gotta add Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak's "Leave the Door Open" over it. Pick the words you want. Scroll those down. Throw a filter on it. It's very technical.
It's interesting too because like all these companies are billion-dollar companies and they're all just stealing from each other. They're like, oh, this company's this is the new thing. Let's do it ourselves. So they all do that, even though if it's not even good for them. Like
A lot of companies do that, though.
No, I know.
you know?
That's what big companies do. They freak out and they're like, they're doing it. Let's do it. Like you know,
like
Like
Reels.
podcasting.
Yeah.
well, everything. But
That's what I'm saying. Every company does this.
That reminds me, I got to listen to the Trader Joe's podcast again. I love that.
Is it
thing.
good?
No, I've never listened to it, but they have one.
Yeah. They don't need one though, for sure. And that will fade too. Like they'll start looking at their budget and be like, "Why the hell are we
I
paying
hope
for
that guy's
this
not listening
podcast?"
to us now.
No,
He's got
but-
a coconut hat on. He's got.
And-
I'm Trader Joe podcaster.
It'll definitely shift, and then they'll just realize like this is a waste of our money. No one's listening. Who cares?
Trader Joe's got rid of all their racist food items, right?
I didn't know they had any. I've never been inside of a Trader
Yeah,
Joe's.
they had all the ones. It was like the Asian food would be like Trader, and then it would be like Trailer Chan's or something. It was something like that.
Trader Chan's.
Yeah, it was like they changed the name, and it was like sort of racist.
Like based on the food. Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, they have
that's
Trader Jose.
Trader Jose.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
And then they started getting canceled
for what?
that.
The beans?
For a beer.
Exactly. For like
For like their version of Corona.
Yeah, or if you had like a taco or so, they put that stamp, put that Trader Jose brand on there.
Nobody was really offended by that, right? That's
Trader
just,
Ming's.
They're just
Trader Ming's, that's what it was. Not when they looked at the price, they weren't offended by it because they're like, this is cheap and awesome.
They're just nitpicking. But
Probably, I
isn't
don't know.
Trader Joe's expensive?
No,
That's what I always thought, but I've never been inside of one.
No, it's cheap because that's where you get the what is it, $2 chuck?
I feel like always like the bougie people go to Trader Joe's, so I just
Yeah.
assumed it was rich people.
I think.
Okay.
Hold on. I think
expensive
it's
pricing, but look, Publix is expensive to me too.
Oh,
so.
Publix is expensive. Don't get that twisted. Publix is expensive. I think Trader Joe's is cheaper than Publix, and then Aldi is cheaper than all of them, right? Aldi? Is it Aldi?
Yeah, Aldi.
I said Aldi.
I feel like though Trader Joe's is secretly more expensive than Publix, but wants to brand themselves as like the discount.
Hey, we're the average Trader Joe.
But I know like everybody that goes to Trader Joe's that I know has
Trader
money.
Dojo's.
Like-
Is that Juan owns that? Like,
Not one person I've ever heard of went to Trader Joe's for the price. You see what I'm saying? They go there because they like the product.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like if you were worried about price, you go to Aldi or whatever the hell. You know,
Aldi.
like
We're saying it wrong.
You go to the Walmart super center.
I
or
like
the
going
grocery
there.
Neighborhood
store.
market.
I
man.
like neighborhood market. My wife tells me I'm trash.
What's neighborhood market?
Walmart.
It's their grocery
Oh,
only.
yeah, yeah.
I
No, it
like
is
it.
trash.
My
It's
wife
straight
says I'm
trash.
trash.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
business partner
Yeah,
says
yeah.
I'm trash. Everyone I know except for Sam calls me trash.
Yeah. You got to know.
Well, I go
yeah.
there, so-
I mean, you
Butler
know,
pushed me down before we started recording.
Yeah. You know, and everybody knows.
He only goes to Whole Foods, right, Butler?
Butler, he don't
He
go
has to.
nowhere.
His wife
He gets
makes
all
him.
of his stuff delivered, I bet, and his wife is nitpicking crazy
Oh, yeah, isn't
on
he
it.
getting like Thrive meals?
And he's been sad lately because he's convinced he's fat, which he is not.
It's because you guys made fun of his B cups.
Tom started it, and I can't stop. Once I
got
pop,
in
I
him,
can't
yeah.
stop. Once I pop the bees.
I noticed he's like, I'm overweight now.
Nobody likes a fat Butler.
He's been starving himself. He says
Yeah.
he no longer will wear a fanny pack.
Butler,
you
get in
guys
here.
scarred him for life.
yeah.
Butler, can you get in here? Or are you too sad? Is this too real?
He's super, but Butler's
You're
super
not
vain.
fat. You're an insane person if you think you're fat. You're crazy.
Well, we got him. We got into
But
it.
but he's
I'm
super.
gonna double
This
down.
is emotional abuse.
That's what I
This is a
want.
hostile work environment because we figured out that
We could do it to men for a while.
Yeah, for a little while.
And then that'll be cut off soon. But
I see what you did
there. So Butler, how fat are you?
Oh my God. That's what you brought him in here for?
He's not fat.
I'm a little fat.
No!
I
He's
know
going to
you
be
are.
anorexic
Wow,
now.
I know you are.
Was it okay? Because Tom is the one that started it, and we had a conversation in the middle of the night where it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we're all having a fun text dust up, if you will. And Tom never goes into our group chat.
Yeah, but it's bullying Butler.
But this time he did. He peeked his head in, and he made a comment about you having boobs like Mike B. And,
Well,
he said that you had gone to bed early because you were carrying around your B cups all day, and it made you tired.
That's good though. That's good.
And then I photoshopped drunkenly the picture from the Land Cruise where you were enjoying yourself of you in a Burdines shopping for Big Mama Bras.
And then Sam jumped on there.
And she did chime in. She was
does
like,
emoji.
"Stop!" Yeah, she was like, "You did. You mommed
No,
us."
but she said it-
I
mommed
said
me.
it in like a stop.
Yeah, laugh. Yeah,
She
yeah.
mommed me.
She said it in a laughy,
Wait,
like,
yeah.
were you saying that like, "Yes, queen"?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Then I nailed it.
Wait, no, I took it like, and so did Butler. There's more bullying. We just piled on.
Well,
And then I
think-
said he was an old man
was
that was
that-
asleep by 8 o'clock.
Was that the one that
It was the bras, wasn't
was it the bras, the Photoshop?
Uh,
Because I didn't touch the picture. Only I just put your PNG file on top of a bra picture.
Do you tell your doctor wife that you get bullied at work? And
well, funny enough, we were laying in bed and I was like, that popped up, and she was like, "What's that?"
I
was like,
it's
it's
a
like-
picture of bras.
I was like, "That was just Tom making fun of me," and I didn't even give Dan the
Your
credit.
boss-
He's the good one.
You should call Mo and sue them.
Dan made me. Dan photoshopped me shopping for bras.
Your bosses cannot.
This is harassment.
Your bosses cannot make fun of your
Your pectorals.
pectoral. Yeah, she's like doctor about it.
How
She was
dare
like-
they
Yeah,
mock the size of your engorged areolas? You look like a mama chimpanzee ready for.
Yeah.
She
She's like,
just chuckled and kept on doctoring.
like, screenshot that for the court case.
Put that in the file.
Yeah, you're right. But she just discounts you, like, whatever. I have real business to do. I have a building.
She's like, I'm my own boss. I don't get harassed.
She's designing her new practice. She's got the schematics out.
I think one piece of equipment she had, that freeze machine, is worth more than
but
our entire company.
every time you bring that up, you just want to like freeze ants, freeze food object. He wants to do weird like chopper style things.
Yeah.
You're not fat though. I just want the record to reflect.
So how are you gonna lose weight?
No.
What are you gonna do?
No, I got that Peloton now, man.
Oh yeah, the Peloton.
He's on the Peloton.
Yeah. How did how
Old
does that
Johnny, I saw old CrossFit Johnny's buying a Peloton.
Oh,
One of
yeah?
our buddies. Yeah, I saw him drop it in the BDM group.
work? You pedaled the boobs off.
Peddling the booze off.
Okay.
The only problem that I've had trying to pedal the boobs, pedal my boobs off, is that I just get a little bit sore from the dildo on the seat. Let's do a voicemail.
You
Here's
guys are mean in the Twitch chat.
what do they say?
Oh, they're
They
mean.
said the camera adds a cup.
Oh,
All that
I'll get
estrogen
you,
he
yeah.
was rubbing in his skin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's a pussy towel.
Yeah, he did it. He did it. He got you good.
yeah. Now
I didn't even do anything.
I'll give you a pass. Normally yell that why'd you curse on ACT? But
there you go. There's your
you know,
time, Sam. Sorry.
That I can't
He was
get too mad.
Yeah,
at
he was a
you.
distressed man.
You egged me on, man.
All right, let's do a voice.
Okay, I've got this one ready to go. This is from Nurse Clark.
Hey gang, Nurse Clark here. I was just calling in. I apologize for the if it's a little loud background noise. I am currently on a road trip, and I was listening to the podcast, and I figured I would go ahead and call in regarding the vaccine, the COVID vaccine.
Do you guys want to do this?
Yeah. I was
You
gonna
wanna
say,
do it?
like, don't come.
Yeah, you want to do
Put
it?
the robots.
Yeah, he might be straight up Rogan. You don't worry about it, and then everybody starts freaking out.
No. This is Nurse Clark.
We're running it live.
Seth was on talking about getting the vaccine, and just made me think that, probably be good to give the listeners an idea of what the vaccine actually is, because a lot of people are scared about it. I was a COVID nurse, worked on a COVID unit for roughly 10 and a half months of this last year.
Thank you for doing that.
So I've seen just about everything with it. So the vaccine is the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines are very good vaccines. And to give you an idea what you're actually looking at when you get the vaccine, basically, unlike the flu vaccine, you do not get injected with an inactive version of the virus. You are injected with an RNA of a protein that is found on the outside of the virus.
Okay. I think that clears it all up.
Well,
I got it.
What Nurse Clark is going to explain is
Yes,
easily.
I love it when you go to nurse mode.
No, but it's easily found on the internet. Like you could read as much information all day long about all the studies and everything, exactly how it works. It's on the internet. It's easily, you don't need to hear it from our show. But with Nurse Clark, and what I found that to be interesting, and also it kind of ties into you can't fight irrationality with rationality, is a lot of this, and believe me, we've all seen it, and this is the last we'll talk about vaccines and anything, because we're a comedy show. But from what I've seen is that the people
From
have
what I've vaccine.
or just from friends and family and then like from my own life, is there people that are afraid of getting the vaccine.
Oh, sure.
And
I
so,
know a lot of people that don't even like getting a shot. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah, there's a
You
lot
know
of
what I
people
mean?
afraid of needles in general.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Yeah,
doesn't
of
have
course,
to go.
yeah.
It doesn't even have to get the vaccine.
Or-
It could just be needles.
maybe it's not afraid, they're just suspicious, or like
They're cautious,
are cautious,
yeah.
or I
Yes.
don't want to get this, or not enough study, whatever it is. So, but what doesn't help, and seemingly, and this happens in my life too, is like, now that fear is real to them, just like Daniel's fear of flying, Seth's fear of getting cancer, whatever you want to be afraid of, that is probably unlikely, right? Like statistically unlikely. If you're afraid of getting in a car accident, I'll be like, yeah, you probably should be, take
dangerous.
precautions.
Yeah. Or me
Right.
on my scooter. That's the one that doesn't make any sense, like motorcycles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or if you're afraid of getting heart disease in your late 50s because you haven't led a healthy life, then I'll be like, yes, you should be afraid
yeah.
of it.
Oh, how overweight
that
are
is
you?
that is probably going to happen.
Oh, and you're 200 pounds overweight.
But-
Yeah, that's a good
it's
bet.
genetics or whatever, 50-50. You probably have less of a chance. But anyway, what I'm saying is that the people that are cautious about getting the vaccine, it has nothing to do with learning how it works or having doctors or scientists saying it's safe to them, because
some of it is.
the what?
Some of it is that, because they did. I mean, it was the fastest a vaccine has come out. So yeah, I understand that some people don't know how it works, don't know what's in it. So there is a little bit of that.
It is, but they're not going to listen to a doctor or scientist say that, hey, this is safe.
So what you're saying is that no matter how many times you and Sam and Butler tell me that airplanes are safer than cars, I will always have a fear of flying because that's who I am.
Also, there's
I believe that.
It goes back to irrational fear.
Yeah.
And maybe there's there's a rational part of being afraid of flying.
Yeah.
People die and
Yeah.
there's a rational
Same with
part.
the vaccine, sure, I get
There's
it.
a rational part about being afraid of getting.
It's not like our government hasn't injected people with bad things before.
There's
there's a reason why people could be afraid.
There's a rational part about a lot of irrational fears, but the reason it's irrational, at least to me, is that with a lot of these things, dying in a plane crash, getting a rare cancer, getting affected down 20 years from now from a vaccine you're taking,
winning American Idol,
all mathematically unlikely, statistically unlikely, to the point where you're like, all right, I'll do this instead of this or whatever. But regardless, what I'm telling you, the whole point of this, nothing about the vaccine, You're not going to fight irrational fear with rationality. It doesn't work. So you got to
don't waste your time yelling at people and getting mad. Yeah,
you got to let people work it out themselves and worry about yourself.
That's the best piece of advice you have ever given on our show before.
Because
that is lovely.
Because you yelling about how they shouldn't be afraid of it, you should get it, blah blah blah. It's not gonna convince them. Yeah. By the way, try to convince them about politics or anything they believe in anyway.
Well, I was going to say the politics thing. We've been through that.
Have you ever argued with anybody on the internet about anything where they actually said, you know what, you changed my mind, thank you? Like that doesn't happen. Why are you yelling? Stop yelling at everybody. That's all I'll say.
You're yelling at us.
It's not helping anything. I know. And you're not.
Thank you, Nurse Clark, for calling in.
You're not going to convince anybody because people's minds are set.
Yeah. If you're afraid, you're afraid. You know. Yeah. I know that firsthand.
Well.
Hey, gang, it's Zach from Ohio. So here we typically don't have to start mowing our grass till the very, very beginning of April at the earliest. I was thinking, do you guys have to mow your grass in like December and January, or what is your grass mowing season? What does that look like?
Mow my grass.
Mine's dead.
You got dead grass?
Yeah. Trying to grow it back now.
You have to get irrigated.
We've been it's been pretty damn dry in Florida lately.
Yeah.
Comparatively. Normally like
weird.
April showers, but it's been like maybe 2 days out of the whole month that it rained.
We have thunderstorms.
It's not as dry as it needs to be. I've been trying to start forest fires for at least a couple months, and nothing is going on.
My front yard is lush green. I've been overwatering the heck out of mine.
The only way I've ever been able to maintain grass and is by throwing money at it. In my entire life, I try to do it myself. I've tried to do everything.
I had a 1 month.
It never worked. But throwing money at it, it's green grass.
Remember when I got a fancy yard and I had a 1 month fancy yard? Like I think it stayed like perfect, looking like a hotel for 1 month.
Yes.
And then it was like poof, and then everything just like terrible. Dying, patches, out of control, looked wrong.
Weeds will get you, man.
You need time to do that stuff. So it's like if you don't have the time to do it yourself, it ain't gonna look good. And that's just you need the irrigation. You need the schedule.
Huge.
I'm out there hosing my lawn down every night.
Yeah, no, you'll never win.
Then you'll
never win.
The company. I use a company that's on our BDM hookups page that keeps my grass green.
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it must work great.
Oh my God.
Just go to hookups and look for something.
TomandDan.com.
Tons of gas.
No, that's the gas one. No,
I'm trying to think of the free one for mosquito nicks.
No, this one I pay the monthly thing.
Is it no?
Songs by Bill.
It's not Endeavors. No, that's the hydroponics.
Is it?
Someone's coming to our door. I always get freaked out now.
Is it All Pro?
No, that's All Pro Dent.
No,
that's
I
Corey.
thought that was but I know that All Pro Dent repair.
Brian Simel, Streamline Mortgage.
There's a grass one. What's the grass one?
Are you sure it's still on?
Streamline Grass.
Pollard, I blame you.
Big beats, big beats. I don't know. I just wanted to bully somebody, and you didn't even chat with me. You just looked horrified.
It's SNL Landscaping.
Yeah.
No. That's my
a different one.
But that's my landscaper, Sean.
Which one?
This is one they spray the yard for. They keep it fertilized and green.
I don't know.
That's the only
True Green.
Oh my
No,
God.
Massey Services, True Green. What do you got? What are you stealing?
That's a different company.
What are you stealing, you mother? You've lost track of all the stuff you're stealing. Pull the books. Pull the ledgers.
It's on there.
Pull the ledger.
It's not on there.
We gotta go through every penny. We gotta start go through every penny of this entire year.
The only people it could possibly be is SNL Landscaping, Six Flags, or the Endeavors LLC Hydroponics and Solar Solutions, and I don't think it's any of those. So
this is a.
What about that pond place that Seth likes? That's warring.
Oh
no! What have I done?
Don't bring it up.
What have I done? I started the war. Tyrion Lannister's launching the green mist into the castle.
You know what? I like you messing with Butler more because you got him yesterday.
No.
You got him yesterday with the
Big Bug shirt.
The Big Bug shirt. I'm gonna text Crystal. What is the name of the group?
I'm glad we're
great content.
You know why? Because nobody else has the balls to do this. We're ripping the knob off, Sam.
And I'm only asking because now I'm scared that they didn't mean
Well,
to
when
get
is the
off
last
them.
time you saw them spraying your grass down? Yesterday? That's what we need to look at.
They keep coming. I pay them.
Maybe you're not. Oh, sure. Maybe you're not going through your end of the bargain, which is typically, oh yeah, I'll give you a couple of free hookups. Butler, give them the free hookup. Oh yeah. And then they come by, they spray, and that thing goes on forever.
Yeah, I know. I get lost. I love getting lost in the system. It's my favorite thing.
Right now, lost in the system. We need a shirt that says "Lost in the System."
If I could run my entire life with just being lost in the system, the United States, every system, like any company I do business with, I hope this entire company gets lost in the system.
I agree.
Where like they don't even know. They're like, we have no record of you existing.
Every BDM that's subscribing right now, hope you get lost in the system. Our app, everything lost, and so that way it can never go away.
Yeah. It just lives forever, but in a million different places.
Are we describing NFTs? It's like a thing, but it. All right, let's try this one because the number of men that email me every single day talking about how they're just like Tom and they have the porno appointments all over their calendar. I get at least 5 a week.
Hello, Tom and Dan. I just wanted to say I heard on Wednesday's corporate time from this week, I believe April 14th, entitled Video Man, there was a nice guy who called in named Randy, and he talked about, I believe, episode 596, which was cellophane house wrapping or some BS, I don't know. But I just, my new favorite thing is any caller referencing the episode dates and times or numbers, because I know you guys just remember them like spot on memory.
How do they know that? Like, are they looking at it? They're looking at it, right?
I think they push pause to call us or leave a message, and then they probably just look at it. They're like, I stopped here, episode, it says the episode and the timestamp. Okay. That's the only, because there's no reason.
No.
It's not like we don't believe you or in a court case, like reference what he's talking about to verify.
Never happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was about something else.
We don't even verify the voicemails where Daniel listens to the first one, like, all right, good enough.
I want to play too, so I don't want to listen to the whole thing. That's why there's so many curse words in our voicemail. Sam loves it.
Yeah. Because Daniel wants to react to them real time.
Yeah, because that's important. I could probably act. I could probably just be like,
whoa,
fresh voicemail, whoa. I don't know.
Don't change, bro.
Hey guys, Aaron from Altamont checking in. I was finishing up Friday's ACT, and I believe it was BDM Neil that called in, talking about how he would smoke Tom under the table with dabs and send him to the moon and all that. And Tom, you hit the nail on the head. There are diminishing returns with marijuana, and there are, the people that can drink you under the table, but their insides are rotting away. But I wanted to know, because I don't believe, I've been a long-time listener, I don't believe that you guys have ever really discussed psychedelics, and I just wanted to know. And this goes for Tom, Dan, Samantha, Travis. What is your experience, or have you ever done LSD, mushrooms, any sort of psychedelics? And the reason I'm asking this is because I came across, this was probably 9-10 years ago, I had wrapped 20 hits of acid in some tin foil and stuck it in my back. It's got to be kept in a
you
dark,
ran through some sprinkler
dry
systems.
place,
I saw this in SLC
or else it'll go
Punk.
bad, it'll degrade. And this was probably 7-8 years ago. I pulled it out. There were 6 of us going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, that's the worst place to do
why would you do that?
That's what you did back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember all my
Not
friends.
me, buddy.
Yeah, you'd want to make it crazier. You're right. I didn't do it.
I just took mushrooms at the glow party on the cruise.
And high school used to be a thing too. When you went to grad night or whatever the hell, when you got to go to Disney World or whatever.
Terrible. You get to watch DC talk on acid.
But everybody tripped. But what was he gonna say that it leached into?
5 of them took 2 hits. I wrapped the other 10 around my tongue, and we got in the car and drove to Universal. Never thought I would be the same after that. That was a fucking... Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. You might have to edit that.
I will.
You might?
That was a wild night. So I just wondered, what's your experience, if any?
No.
I don't know. Never heard you guys talk about it.
Love you guys. I'll shut up and listen.
Well, the whole chat room's calling BS on 10 hits because that just sounds excessive.
Well,
That is a lot.
I didn't know a guy that he always claimed, and he was kind of one of those guys you'd look into his eyes and know that he'd done like bad damage to his brain, you know? And he was like, 18 hits. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah,
I can see it.
confirmed. Yeah, I mean, like, you're going to working at a FINA for the rest of your life.
Also, I'm always like, weren't you afraid to do 10? Like, did you do 9 before and then you stepped into 1? Or did you go from 1 or 2 to 10? It's like, how are you not afraid of that? Like,
yeah, he must have like been seasoned in the LSD game. You don't just jump to 10.
He also did a follow-up. He will not get the vaccine. He's afraid of it.
I've done mushrooms a handful of times, but I'm going to be honest, LSD kind of scares me.
It does to me, too.
I would do DMT, though. I just haven't had access to it.
But that's not really... Well, I guess that's a powerful... I can't say...
Everybody says DMT. I think of JYD, which is the junkyard dog from
I think
WWF.
of PYT.
So,
pretty young thing.
PYT.
On mushrooms, did you have severe hallucinations?
No, I mean, it's like trails and stuff, and it makes things more vibrant and funny, but nothing like, I didn't see, any crazy
trails.
stuff.
I did mushroom tea trails. That's all. That's as
puts
far
you
as
in a
I've
good
ever
mood.
gone.
It keeps you awake.
Oh,
so
I guess
be prepared
ecstasy
to stay
counts,
up all
right?
night.
Ecstasy counts.
Not as much. I wouldn't put that in the same category as like, what's the cactus one? Peyote?
Peyote.
I loved
LSD.
it. I thought ecstasy was fantastic.
I'd probably try peyote.
So Butler.
I also want to do ayahuasca, but
Butler wants to do X to
my
B.
husband thinks I'm crazy for that.
So I'm sure you tripped before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have. So what have you done?
I've done mushrooms, acid.
Okay, the acid. What like?
Did
how
you have
was
a good
that?
trip or a bad trip?
I've had good trips. I've only ever gone into it like in kind of like a positive mindset. So
I think choppers. That's a positive.
good at
choppers.
it.
Choppers can go.
They can navigate drugs.
Yes, choppers know, and
It's
they
a
don't
strength.
freak out as
No.
much. Yeah,
And they'll guide you. They'll calm you down.
yeah. Like I feel like other people, you're in the bathroom, you're crying, looking at yourself, you're like, I'm freaking out.
My
I'll
face
do
is
that.
melting.
Choppers are fine.
I'm kind of a baby in that, like, there have been times when I've been so hungover that I just want to cry, or well, I'm just in the bath. You know that feeling, or you're like just
You're
laying on the
sick.
tile. You just feel like crap.
I've only done mushrooms one time, and it was like 2.5 caps I took, and it took a while. And by the time it hit me, it was like 1 a.m, and it just kept me up for like 2 hours thinking about how the earth was made or whatever. Like like I was just in my head. I didn't see any. Like I just couldn't sleep. And it kind of reminded me of taking like too much sativa because if you eat too much sativa or whatever, you'll have like one time I was walking down Target with Crystal, and all of a sudden it was like the Matrix where all the aisles like
That happened to me at a BJ's warehouse. I had to get the hell out of there.
but just for
Happens
like
at Targets and BJ's.
it wasn't a hallucination. It was just for a split second it looked like it was an endless aisle. And then
I started getting tunnel vision.
Yeah, a little bit of tunnel vision, and that was just from marijuana, like a high, percent sativa. But I've always been afraid to do LSD because I don't like. People are like, "Oh, you'll." Even the ayahuasca, I'm afraid to do because I don't want to get up in my own head that much. Like I don't even want to see what's in there.
the ayahuasca, I just don't want to do because I don't want to like puke until I trip.
Nah, you're fine.
I just
Or
don't
poop
want
until I trip.
I don't like.
have a
want anything to
bucket.
do. I don't want anything to do with that.
I don't want people telling me like, you'll never be the same after you do ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Because like, what if I get? It's kind of like you're going to play.
I don't know if I want to rewire
You're going
my
to
brain.
play some role playing game, and then you don't want to be the elf, but you spin the wheel and you end up getting Valkyrie instead. Like you get something you don't want. I don't want to like come out and they're like, "How was it?" I'm like, "It was that." You're like, "Oh my god, he'll never be the same." You're like, "I'm not doing that."
Well, I've only heard it described as like it helped them with their depression and anxiety. Like if you watch that Real Sports episode, like these fighters and these former NFL players will do it because they all.
There's tons of documentaries on it. Even Chelsea Handler did a whole episode on it.
They all have CTE and they're going through depression and stuff, and then it's weird. They're like, "I'm a different person after." Like
in a positive way.
Yes,
yeah.
I don't.
But
have,
are they? It's like hypnosis where they're only saying that because they're saying that. You know what I mean?
The medical explanation made sense to me, and they talked to like a neurologist about it, and it made pseudo sense to I don't know anything about neurology, but they were just like, it helps because I will tell you, when I'm super high, I feel like I could think a different way.
Right.
And that may just be because
But what if it's like that worst way possible?
Well,
Is it possible for you to feel as if you're thinking and the thoughts that you're throwing out there, you're executing them with razor precision, but if you...
The reality is
that it is just clumsy and it is not like, because a lot of times I'll write down ideas that I think are just glorious.
Of course,
and then I look at them later and I'm like, that's the dumbest thing you've ever written.
There's a little bit of that,
legitimately the dumbest thing.
But I'll seemingly figure out something when I'm high faster and easier and more efficiently than when I'm not high. Like when I'm not high, I can't, like I'll think about a problem for days and then I'll get really high and be like, that's it, I know the answer. So what is that? That could just be stupid high thoughts, but.
Well, Andrea says I do it, but it's not necessarily like concepts. It's more of like, if I'm like, medicated and she asks me,
you remember things.
Yeah, like Andrea will be like, oh, Maisie's looking for her little mirror compact. And I'll be like, it's in her backpack, top zipper pocket.
Yeah. You never
realized
realize that.
No, it's right there. But subconsciously, it leached into my brain while I was like having a day.
Turns you into a medicated savant.
Well, that also could be because there's tons of things that screw your brain up. Anxiety, one of them, it blocks the ability to properly solve problems and things. It's just it
blocks off certain parts of your brain.
Well, it distracts you. You know what I'm saying?
I block mine off like historic Sanford L. So, and we just do a anxiety fest right there in the L.
But did you ever have a LSD? Oh, you said you never had a freak out.
I had some weird trips, back in the day. Like I saw a fish a couple times, and I ate some mushrooms. And,
what do you mean you saw a fish?
Saw the band. Sorry, the rock band Fish. And saw them, and I tripped on some mushrooms, and I saw some weird ass, back then.
I thought we were gonna say Weird Owl.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
hey, by the way, that is on Peacock. The Weird Al show. What? Remember the show? It's on Peacock.
Wasn't it like on VH1 or something?
I don't remember. Do I start it or not? Because I remember enjoying it. Oh, I don't want to ruin it. I'm afraid it's going to ruin it.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, it's not going to
I don't want to ruin it. And Sam's always down for me to restart something. You guys always talk me out of it. I appreciate it.
Dude, it makes sense to me that in the future we'll probably microdose everything, and there's some sort of benefit out of a lot of things.
We microdose our entertainment right now.
I just feel like
I'm in. Give me all the mushrooms.
Well, just from taking the Adderall and realizing it's just a small dose of meth, amphetamine or whatever, it's like amphetamine salts, and like it helps my brain work more efficiently. And I'm like, well, it probably there's truth into the microdosing ecstasy, microdosing MDMA, and the mushrooms. Like people do.
Most people have been microdosing exercise recently. I see a lot of that.
Yeah,
or they just don't do it. Right.
Well, they do say that if you just exercise, like if you go hard,
rapid,
for 15 minutes, if you just ran for 5 minutes as fast and as hard as you could, and then that was it, 5 minutes a day, I bet you'd see a tremendous amount of result.
They have these 15-minute Peloton classes that are literally when it starts and when it ends, it's just terrible. It's terrible. You just but that's all you have to do.
Yeah,
that's all you should do.
That'll do as much as riding slowly for 2 hours.
Correct.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's over. I was having fun. We were just hanging out.
Want some more?
Oh, by the way, I'll end with this. Macho Man Randy Savage is on an episode of the Weird Al Show where he drops an elbow on Harvey the Wonder Hamster.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yeah,
just get high and watch it.
Definitely gotta watch it. Back on Team Sam. Definitely gotta watch it.
Bye bye.